Mike Johnson, The Curse of the No-See-Um. The Curse of the No-See-Um, Mike Johnson.
Good evening, campers. Gather round, gather round. It's story time. The story I'm going to tell y'all this evening happened a long, long time ago. But even though it's from way back when, the events, good God, they still affect us today, you will see. The young man's name was Tommy Fern Sniffer. He was a Waccamaw Indian brave who wandered these tidal marshes and climbed these live oaks long before they became interesting to modern tourists and homebuyers. The Waccamaw, like other Native American tribes, had a deep appreciation for nature. They cultivated the soil, they fished the waters, they hunted the thick woods, they scheduled their entire lives around the cycles of the generous world around them. But while the rest of the tribe worked hard to cultivate this harmony with nature, Tommy was forever at play in the woods. If he had been born 600 years later, he'd been known as a humongous slacker. The whole tribe resented him. Young ladies found him lazy and irresponsible. His whole family thought him an embarrassment and a curse from the Creator. Anytime somebody in the village needed a favor done, they'd go to Tommy's parents asking about him, and the inevitable reply was, "No see-um." "We need someone to scout the riverbank. Where's Tommy?" "No see-um." "I cannot weave another basket. Where's Tommy?" "No see-um. No see-um, no see-um." No see-um became such a common reply that Tommy became known as No see-um, much to the delight of the Fern Sniffer family, who had all but disowned him at that point. By then, No see-um was living alone in a ramshackle lean-to on a high bluff overlooking the busy village below. So one night, in the middle of the dry season, No see-um was tending a small fire in his camp. The night before, he had crept down into the village and pilfered a bushel of oysters and a bucket of chicken wings and was now roasting his purloin dinner over the open flame. Well, he reached down in there by the fire, grabbed one of them steamed oysters, shucked it, popped that bad boy in his mouth, hot, 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 launched that hot oyster end over end, and it fell into the orange embers of the fire, and the ashes and sparks flew out and down and settled in the arid palm fronds surrounding the village below. Good God, before you could say woolly bug, and the whole thing went up. Quickly spread an inferno, people running for their lives. Ah! It was mass chaos. Fortunately, no one was killed. But by morning's first light, the whole village was reduced to a smoldering ruin. As you may have suspected, No see-um was nowhere to be found. He'd looked down at that fiery spectacle, chicken bones sticking out of his lips, and just laughed himself silly. Oh, God. Then, fearing some kind of horrifying tribal retribution, he packed up his meager provisions, wandered off into the smoky woods, and never seen again. Of course, everybody in the village knew who had started the fire. It was No see-um, but that sucker was long gone. All they could do was anything they could to try to placate the Creator, who had been witness to all the sorry events that had led up to the conflagration. So they performed these rituals.